Welcome, friends. Today, we are doing an unboxing and first impression. Nice. So, this isn't really a first impression, but it is an unboxing. I have smelled this fragrance before, allow me to explain. So, when you start making YouTube videos, and even when you just sort of like hang around the same places on the internet, you start making like friends and like connections and things like that. Just normal human things. And I have been lucky enough to make a lot of friends and a lot of people who are interested by the same things I having a common sort of interest with someone is a very good way to make like friends and stuff like that. And I have found that I have made some friends, and today I am extremely lucky to have received a vintage bottle which is otherwise impossible to find because of a friend who is interested in the same things I am. In this case, vintage fragrances. Excuse me, something was bothering us. A while back, Manly Scents, who is from Malta, who you may have seen in the comment section or certainly on live stream videos where he's been commenting in the chat, he reached out to us and said, yo, like, can we talk? And I was like, we were like swapping emails and stuff like that, and eventually just swap numbers because it's so much easier. Like you've got to go through that sort of process with someone, haven't you? Where like the pair of you sort of like figure out that the other one isn't nuts, you know, and then you can give like your number to people. And I'm happy to say that Manly Sense is not nuts. And he said, "Look, I'm gonna send you some. Can I send you some like vintage, like some vintage decants of some perfumes like you've never mentioned before, and I don't think you've got them." And he reeled some off, and I was like, "Oh yes, please, thank you very much." And he sent me four, which were, excuse me, sorry if you're into that sort of noise, good for you. This is John Veidt cologne. This is extremely rare. This is Pancaldi from 1989. Excuse me, there's no need for that. And Ettore Bugatti. And he also sent me Weil Pour Homme, or Weil Pour Homme. Weil Pour Homme is the subject of today's video because after smelling a few of these, I really liked Weil Pour Homme. And I went to look for it, and it was not there. And when it was there, it was very high price. More than I was willing to pay. And so I said to myself, oh, nightmare. And I was speaking to Manly Sense about it, and I decided to pop the question. I was like, would you sell us a bottle of Weil Pour Homme? Because he, like me, knows that if there's vintage fragrances which are often discontinued, it is best to back them up. And so he does have backups, and I thought I'm gonna ask, and fortunately he said yes, and he decided to sell me a bottle. Excuse me, you will see these again at some point, don't worry. He sold me a pristine Ramon Weil. I think it's Ramon Weil, the same people who make the watches, I might be wrong. Weil Pour Homme. Marvellous. So thank you very much, Manly Sense. You are too kind. And when he sent me this, he also included Missoni Uomo EDT from 1983. I've tried this a couple of times already today, but we'll come back to these. One day I'm going to do a first impression on all of those. So that's something to look forward to. But today is about Weil Pour Homme. So here we go. Don't harm the box because it is absolutely pristine, Richard. Okay, so I haven't got any nails. Oops. It's hard doing this with feathers. Out you come, tip it upside down. There we go. Out you come. And there it is. Haha. This is a splish. It's 90% by volume, but it is very strong. There's the splash. Very nice. Very nice. So, we are going to do a first impressions-ish from this little decant spray. I think I will just use that to decant this from into that when that one runs out. Just going to get a device which will help me. Now, this fragrance is not on Fragrantica, which is a little bit scary, but it is on Parfumo. And Parfumo says, what does Parfumo say? Let's see what Parfumo says, shall we? Weil Pour Homme 1980 Eau de Toilette is a popular fragrance by Weil for men and was released in 1980. The scent is a leathery woody. The longevity is above average. The production was apparently discontinued. As you can imagine with a fragrance like this, the notes are extensive. So let's start. At the top, there are aldehydes, bergamot, lime, rosemary, lemon, petitgrain, and lavender. Heart notes, there is basil, mugwort, geranium, green notes, jasmine, clary sage, and carnation. In the base notes, there is labdanum, leather, moss, tonka bean, vetiver, and cedar wood. Now, I'm going to spray some on, and we will see what I get. As you can already tell, I liked it enough to want to buy 100 ml. Oh. Straight away, I get like bergamot, rosemary, petitgrain, lavender. Very fresh on the skin. As soon as you spray it on, very clean. Almost Italian in nature at the top. Lavender's beautiful. It's got that 80s lavender to it as well. You know, it's not like today's lavenders where they can be like really like powdery, or they can be like quite like fuzzy, or they can be like hyper clean and smooth, like it is in Beau de Jour. So it's got that outrageous little bit of like cleanliness as well from the geranium, you know, like that sort, you know, geranium's got that sort of clean freshness. The top's beautiful. This decant here, I don't think it's, well, it's not from the same bottle as this, of course it's not. This decant here has definitely kept its top notes, and judging from the smell from the bottle and the fact that it's in absolutely pristine condition, I would also argue that this is the same. Yeah, that's really nice. It's got this warmth to it as well. You know, like vintage leather fragrances, like fragrances that have got like leather in them in the base, like from the 80s, from the 70s. They've got, it's a different kind of leather that they use from now. Like there's a, Dura Rose keeps saying there's a chemical called IBQ. I'm not gonna pretend I know what that stands for or try and pronounce it without having to like read it first. That's the note that most leathers are based off now, and frankly, it shows. because most leathers that come out now are a little bit crap. Whereas before, the leathers, because you can't tincture leather, there is no leather note, you had to build it, you know. This leather's complex. This is so nice. It's so clean and fresh at the top, but you can tell lurking beneath. I'm getting a lot of the labdanum. I don't particularly like labdanum, but it's so well made. It's so good. Oh, I don't know whether I could get away with wearing this in the summer. If this had been like in March, I'd have been wearing this all through spring, because it's got that fresh newness at the top, you know. The petitgrain, lime, and bergamot. And then the lavender doesn't feel like such a top note, but it is there front and centre. I always associate lavender with being like a mid note. So it's throwing us off a little bit. It's a cleanness. And the mid, it's got, I'm getting like quite a green sort of aspect from it, you know, like from like basil, green notes, moss. An exceptional purchase. I am delighted. So yes, this has been my unboxing and not really a first impression of Weil Pour Homme Eau de Toilette. Thank you very much, Manly Sense, for giving me the chance to own this. I appreciate it greatly. My only regret is that I can't send anything to you because of Britain's shit export laws about perfume. There we are. Thanks very much, everyone. I will see you again soon. Bye.